Peace, HHDG. We're on another episode of HHDG Media, the podcast. And as always, got to give a big applause to everyone that's been tuning in through our Facebook, HHDG, as well as our YouTube channel. Definitely a big shout out and thank you so much, for all the likes, the comments, the shares, people continuously watching it and giving us some positive feedback. Is definitely appreciated. And when I go to shows and people have mentioned that they've seen some of the interviews, that's even more of a big appreciation to know that it's people are taking the time to listen and find out about new artists, producers, DJs. So definitely thank you for that. And this is always made possible through our company, HHDG Media Inc., which is our 5 members: T. Smith, Skelly Top, Rock Vader KB, the Mayor, and myself, Wiki. And as you can see on our bottom banner, you can always go to our website to check out our merch, our written interviews, the music that's currently out, and also upcoming events. Now for tonight, we have a very talented producer, sound designer who has a great ear for music, not just his own, but the music that he's come up on. And I gotta say, he definitely has what I like to, there's certain producers who show how much they have a love for 90s boom bap, the soul music, the jazz, and how they incorporate that to their own unique style. And the producer tonight, coming from Nova Scotia, definitely has continued to do that through albums like Atlantic Rap Volume 1, which last week made the 2-year anniversary. And also he's done countless work with Brooklyn's own Justo the MC and the own fam from Nova Scotia as well, with DJ Uncle Festa and also Ghetto Socks. So, he's got a wealth of a catalog to definitely check out if you haven't, and to just get immerse in his sound and appreciate some of the work that he's put out there. And aside from that, if he's working with people like Rashid Chappelle, Carlita Duran, great singer, the well-known Canadian MC Socrates, UFO Thief, I can go on. And he can definitely tell us about those when we get into the interview. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce for the first time on HHDG Media, DK.
Thanks for having me. Peace.
Absolutely. Appreciate it.
Of course.
How you feeling tonight?
I'm good. Excited to chat music. Love the intro. It's funny you mentioned jazz. That's all I listen to now.
Yeah?
Really, yeah. I just, when I'm driving around my car, just listen, a little jazz, just relaxing,
Right, yeah.
Just good music.
Yes, absolutely. When I do my morning workouts and meditation, that's mainly my go-to is jazz music. And with that being said, even though you said this is what you listen to now, how far back can you remember listening to jazz music?
Honestly, I would that's a good question. I would say just like as a casual listener, I would say at least 10 years, but as a serious listener, definitely like the last 5 years, I've really been digging into the crates to just really go back and just go through like 60s and 70s, like Atlantic catalogs, for example, like Blue Note, all that stuff.
Yes. Nice. Now, is there any particular type of jazz music that, gravitate to more? Like, they got the big bands, they got the trios.
Man, honestly, I think there's like a time and place for like all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it just really depends on my mood. I like the trios.
Okay.
I think that's like super, creative, very minimal, because like you have 3 guys, but, they're all amazing musicians and they're just like reading off each other in real time. So I always like that kind of stuff. But even still, like the studio stuff is is cool too, and like even like the fusion, that I like. Yeah, there's just like so much to it, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, definitely does. Definitely does. And what other music did you grow up on besides hip hop and like you said, past 10 years with jazz?
Like I grew up, but honestly, like I love classic rock and that type of thing. Like love classic rock, especially up here in Canada. I mean some soul, but yeah, I would say mostly classic rock.
Okay, nice, nice. Now, can explain to the people what a sound designer is.
A sound designer, to me, well, in my own words, is just someone who creates and can manipulate sounds to make it sound like a certain way, or
Hmm.
even create a new sound altogether. Like for example, for my sound design, like if I'm creating my own like original compositions to sample myself, I'm just trying to use tools like to get a sound, like a particular sound. So say if
Hmm.
like I'm just making something that sounds like a '70s Blue Note record. I'll do some research just like to figure out what kind of stuff or equipment was used in the recording process, like
Oh,
type of
nice.
pianos, type of bass, then like the type of compressors, tape machine, and all that type of stuff in order to achieve like a particular sound.
Okay, very
So
nice.
that would be my interpretation, how I use it. But there's like a lot of people who just they just make really unique sounds. It can be anything.
Okay, nice, nice. So, what are there any instruments that you play? Because I think I've seen you on the piano before.
Yeah, I play the keys. I'd like to learn upright bass at some point, but yeah, the piano and MPC obviously,
Hmm.
because I consider that an instrument. Turntable too.
Absolutely,
I consider that an instrument. So
it definitely is.
those are
Yes.
my main are my tools.
Cool, cool. Yeah, definitely. And I think a lot of producers um, don't think of it that way, and they really should. The same way that DJs should think of the turntables and the mixer the same way. And with you saying that as it being a musical instrument, and then mentioning what else you played, what makes you want to also learn about the upright bass?
I just been getting more in the piano. Like I did lessons and stuff like that when I was younger, but just from jazz, it just sounds. I just like love the sound of it, and I was like,
Hmm.
well, if I'm playing if I'm playing these lines in my left hand, like walking bass and that type of thing on the keys, it's like for a more authentic and vintage sound. It's like without getting somebody else to record it for me, like parts I wrote. It's like, well, why don't I just invest in an upright bass and just learn how to play it myself, or even like a small electric bass, like a P bass or something like that. Because you see videos of like beat makers and that type of thing. It's like you
Hmm.
get a lot out of just like a few moves on the upright bass, and it sounds great. And electric bass, and just sounds great on your beats.
That's great. Great. Um, I believe it was earlier this month or maybe late last month. Static Selector announced that Trill Static 5 is going to be recorded live on December 5th. Now, last year, when Trill Static 4 dropped, I found out that you provided some original compositions to, what was it, um, Procedure Track.
Yes.
Hmm. Tell us how you ended up, contributing to Trill Static 4 and also Part 3.
Uh, yeah. So I guess the relationship kind of started in 2019.
Mhm.
Yeah, I traveled to New York and I pulled up at a UFV show. So I met him there, and then I met him, and I was able to like book some studio time at his studio. So that was cool. So then I guess he knew who I was, and eventually I got his email, and I just started sending off my own music. So like I did an album in 2022 with Ghetto Socks called listen to the masters.
The
So
masters,
he like
yes.
premiered
Yeah.
some of those tracks. So that was good. And then he also played some stuff from Atlantic Rap Volume One. So yeah, so then after that, I just got more into actual like designing sounds, and because my own beats, I use samples obviously too, but yeah, more so just started transitioning to try to push myself to kind of get a different sound. So I did pretty well, I think, with the compositions, and then I sent them over some ideas, and I was fortunate enough for them to get used. So
Yeah,
that's the story there.
amazing. That's amazing. And I don't know if you could say it or not, but are you going to be part of Part Five that you
I'm
know
not,
of?
I'm not sure it's gonna be
Okay.
live streamed, and
Right, right, yeah.
I guess I'll find out then.
All right. Yeah, because I mean, Static Selector's been doing the live streams, creating albums for at least maybe 14, 15 years now. I think he might have been the first one that I remember doing it. And I think the website was Ustream back
I
then.
think so. Was that the one with Freeway? I think there may have been one he did
It
with
might have
Freeway
been,
like
yeah,
years
it might have
ago.
been Freeway, yeah.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
So he definitely set a trend. So nobody can say that they did it first in
No,
2025.
that that's right, and it's crazy because like for Trill Stack 4, like some of the ideas were sent like a few weeks ahead of time, so that's fine. But for Trill Stack 3, this is a crazy story. Um, so I literally just like made the sample and I don't know, just sent it, um, and then like I had to go to the hospital because we were expecting our son, and then like the whole album was made like basically more or less like when we were in the hospital, and like I came out, and then it was like I got an email saying I made the album. It's like, well, that's great. So literally from the I sent him the idea, and it was like more or less like made on the spot and used for the
Wow.
album. So like just to show that how like live the the process it actually is. Like this
Mhm.
isn't stuff that's just like sitting on the archive. This is just like made on the spot.
That's amazing.
And
Making
then
history.
and the other thing too is for Trostack 4, like that stuff was more custom because I've kind of studied the formula, so I kind of had an idea of what exactly that I wanted to pitch there. So
Hmm.
that was more custom, if anything else.
That's great. Wow, that's great. Hmm. Now, since then, getting your name, affiliated with Static Selector, has there been anyone else that's reached out to you since then?
Uh, I mean, I get there's local artists and like those types that actually have hit me up for just like custom like sample free beats and that type of thing,
Okay.
which is good. And um, like otherwise, like bigger underground artists and that type of thing.
Mhm.
No, not really yet, but hopefully some more because I'm actually in the process of actually like creating a original composition store. So hopefully, once that's done and it's marketed properly, then
Wow.
I'll have more attention to my name. That being said, I feel like all the top producers speak to each other, so I wouldn't be surprised if some of the other guys know who I am.
Yeah, that's great. Wow. Now, your project, what was it? Soul Expressions. It's been about maybe 6 years almost,
Yeah, yeah,
a little over 6 years.
yeah. Well over 6 years, you got it.
That one, I think, really shows, where your love is in the music that you not only listen to, but what you wanted to create.
Yeah, I agree.
Was this your debut?
It was because what had happened before, I just kind of used to make beats more or less for, and just like work with local MCs on their own projects and that type of thing.
Hmm.
But then I just used to find that like sometimes that stuff wouldn't be finished or released. So um, I just figured that I would just put a project under my own name, and yeah, just kind of create the sound that way and just release it that way. I remember when I was like first learning how to make beats, the producer Marco Polo put out a project called Port Authority, and he's also
Ah, yes,
Canadian.
great
So I
album.
liked that, and I was like, well, maybe I could make my own version of this, given the resources I have at the time. So that was kind of my train of thought at the time.
Nice. Wow. And with the Soul Expressions album, I guess you could say that was the beginning of a lot of work with you and DJ Uncle Festa and also Ghetto Socks.
Yes.
So my question to you is, being that they're both from in Nova Scotia, are they both Halifax as well?
Yeah, they are.
Okay. So did all three of you grow up? Did how did y'all meet and everything?
No, I'm actually originally from um, an island called Newfoundland. I don't know if you know it. It's
I've
northeast of
heard of it, yes.
Nova Scotia. So I moved here about 10 years ago. So
Mhm.
I started going to shows, and I connected with them that way. But they had known each other, obviously, from different groups and that type of thing.
Okay. Cool,
Which
cool.
is great because they, let I was able to, hang out and, go to Uncle Fester's studio and, just talk music with both of them. When, they were cool. Like I know some other people in different cities, for example, like they're probably not as, not as accommodating or don't really care, like for newer people. So that was,
Hmm.
was lucky there.
That's great. And what keeps, the chemistry with the three of you? What was the link that, just kept y'all together?
I know. I just think we love music, especially like the golden age, traditional hip hop. Like I think that's it. We just love it so much that you know we just want to be. We want it to be part of our lives. So
Hmm. Feel that. And another person that you personally have worked with often too is Justo the MC.
yes,
I think the what was it
this is we. Yeah,
This
we
Is
did a
Me?
project called "This Is Me."
Yeah,
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 but we
yeah,
we had done we had done like some singles and just some beats and like songs and that type of thing.
yeah.
Like for years before that project was released. I remember. I think I saw him in a song in like 2011 or 12. It was called "This Is Our Year," and DJ Premier was in the music video. So,
Oh wow.
anyways, I think I found him on YouTube, and then I messaged him and said, "Hey, I like this." And I just sent him some beats, and yeah, we just connected that way from there.
Nice. One of my favorite tracks off of there is Effortless.
Oh yeah, ironically, the beat was also effortless. It's just one of those ones where it's just like it just came together so quickly.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Anyways, I found the sample, and I think it's like two chops, but it's like two from two different parts of the song. But like when I had it loaded up on the pads, it just like made sense instantly. I probably made the beat in like 10 minutes. But yeah, just one of those ones that was like just everything just yeah was very organic and just worked, and strangely enough, it became effortless, which worked out well.
Nice. Being that you have a musical background and the production, when it comes to creating, like you said, that one was effortless. When when something comes to mind, are you the type of person that goes straight to it if if you have your equipment available?
Uh, yes and no. It's funny because I had this discussion with Fester like a long time ago. It's like sometimes like when you listen to a sample, it's like if you're in a record store digging, you hear it a certain way and you're like, oh, I got to get this. But then when you get home, you don't hear it the same way for whatever reason. So
Okay.
Yeah, no. Sometimes I try to, if I hear something, I try to work on it as soon as possible. Other times I just trust that it's good, and I just work on it when I get to it.
All right.
It's hard to honestly. It's hard to know. Sometimes,
Yeah.
yeah. Other times I just noodle around until I get the result I want.
Cool. Take us back to your first time hearing a DJ Premier produced track.
Oh man. Oh, I think it would probably be like Represent. I think like
Ooh.
either New York State of Mind or like Represent off of Illmatic off the top, or maybe Memory Lane. One of those three are the first ones that I either heard or remembered.
Hmm. Okay. Same
Yeah, I had a
question.
friend. Yeah, I had a friend that had the Illmatic album,
Hmm.
and yeah, he had like some Nas albums and stuff like that. And yeah, I heard it. So yeah, it was one of those three beats. But either I was blown away by all three.
And the same question for Pete Rock.
Hmm. What's a harder one? Well for same I guess the same thing. The world is yours.
So definitely the Nas album
Yeah,
was
the Nas album. That
getting a
was
lot
yeah.
of play.
Yeah, then I went down like the rabbit hole later, but yeah, that was definitely the first time I heard both. Q-Tip
All right.
too. Yeah, and
Q-Tip, yeah.
Large Professor. Yeah, like all those guys.
We have shout out to the people in the chat. We have NJ the AK, very big fan supporter of hip hop. He's got a wealth of knowledge, and it's always appreciated for him to check out the interviews.
Thank you.
Now, speaking of Nas and DJ Premier, they just announced, December 12th, the album is dropping, Light Years. You ready for it?
Yeah, I mean, I have no idea what to expect, but I love it. Like I just one thing I just never really understood as a fan, it's like how like sometimes you go on like Instagram or Twitter or whatever, and people like you'll drop projects with Hit Boy, and then people will complain. It's like, well, where's the album with Premiere?
For years.
Or like or vice versa. You know what I mean? It's like I think in 2025, fans can have both and enjoy both. It's not all or nothing, right?
Yeah.
But I'm glad it's finally coming.
So with that being said, where did your love of 90s boom bap start? Like, take us back to one of your early memories.
Yeah, so I heard Illmatic, and then after that, I went down, I guess, the rabbit hole, and then I heard Reasonable Doubt and like Wu Tang projects and like The Infamous, which I also loved. Yeah, and I just, well, yeah, just love the sound. Basically, there's really not much more to it. That
Mm-hmm. When it comes to your collection, what do you have more of? Vinyl, CDs, cassettes? How is it?
vinyl.
Vinyl?
Yeah, I used to have a lot of CDs, and then I don't. I think they're still at my parents' house. Yeah, I just like vinyl, and then otherwise, like just a digital collection that I've just collected over the years.
Yeah.
Yeah, but vinyl for the most part. Yeah, you can't beat the sound, and also the artwork. It looks cool.
Absolutely.
It's like
Yeah.
even if music aside, it's like you pull out some of these vinyl, and it's just collectors, just based upon the artwork alone.
How about Madlib? Was one of your early songs or productions that you remember from him?
Off from Madlib. Did he? He did some. I remember he did the Auditorium, Mos Def and Slick Rick. That's Madlib, right? That beat. I'm pretty sure it is.
Auditorium.
I think that's the first one I heard, or I guess I heard them. I knew it was him. I think that was him. I'm gonna say yeah. I'm gonna say yes. That was the first one I knew it was him and recognized.
Yeah, I gotta look that up. I don't remember.
I think it was.
Yeah, it was. It was Madlib.
Yeah, so it's the first one I knew it was him and remember, but I'm sure I heard other things besides that that either I wasn't aware of or yeah, that's the first one that came to my head. So I'll go with that.
Outside of music, you know, what do you do in your day? You know that keeps you going.
Well, I'm a father, so my kids keep me going, and I have other things I like to do. I like to travel a little bit. I like hiking. I like outdoor activities like skating when it's cold enough. What else?
I'm not good at it at all.
I'm in a soccer league. Oh, if I try. Yeah, so those are my main things.
That's cool. Yeah, the children will definitely, keep you busy and entertained at the same time.
Yes, exactly.
Now, in the intro, I mentioned Atlantic Rap Volume 1 just had its 2-year anniversary. I believe it was the 17th of November.
Yes.
How did that album come to be, and break down the title?
Well, for the album came to be, well, for that one, yeah, I had some I just created some beats, and I just wanted to put another compilation album that didn't sound like Soul Expressions or listen to the masters, and I just tried to put together a track list in my head and some artists that I liked that would fit well, and yeah, so that's how that one came. That was the concept for that one, and for the artwork and the idea and the title, that was kind of just, it was inspired by the Atlantic jazz albums. It's like, for example, it's like Atlantic Volume 1 or Jazz Volume 2, that type of thing. So
Yeah.
I just added rap to it. And then, yeah, and then I have a picture of Halifax in the cover. So yeah.
Is that a photo that you took?
I didn't take that. No.
Okay.
Yeah, our man John Blum took that one, and Ghetto Socks did the graphic design.
Nice. Okay. Dope. I have 2 copies of it on vinyl, and my other copy is test press.
And how'd you get that?
I will not say who it was, but I did a nice trade for that a few years ago.
Good.
So initially I had the original one alone, and then helping out some other people, and they mentioned that they had a vinyl collection, and I said I could look through it, see what could trade, and happened to see that.
Good for you. Yeah, I feel like the vinyl is underrated just because of the bonus tracks alone. It's like a lot of people are still sleeping on that, but hey, you can leave in the water, right?
Yep. NJ the AK just mentioned that he has 2 copies of Coltrane's Of the Moment, which I was going to ask about. So let's speak about that right now.
Yeah, so we just wanted to do a live sounding record. So yeah, I played in the piano riff, and then just kind of made the beat around it. It's just like based off a jazz lick, and then we actually had we had a saxophonist come in because I did this album in Fester's studio, and we had saxophonists come in, and he just like soloed at the end for I think it was like over a minute. So that was cool, and like he did some other parts that we just like took and chopped up, and then like on that record, there's also like like a little background noise, like you're almost like you're at a jazz club or like
Jazz
a
club, yeah.
restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like we really wanted that we
You
really
did go
wanted like
atmosphere.
live atmosphere, and there's like a lot of like really small details in that too. Like a lot of like really small details in that record that I liked that like added up. For example, like the intro where he just said that there wasn't gonna be form, and it's like I think one of the MCs, I can't remember who, raps like not even a 16, and then there's like some space, and then the next person goes in, and then there's what else is there? Oh yeah, like the volume of the saxophone is like when during solo is
Mm-hmm.
like turned up, and then like the stereo goes center, so it's like the MC is moving off the stage, and then the saxophone goes to the front. So we just did like a lot of like really small things to make that record sound live.
Yeah, and I love how y'all did that.
And thanks.
And big shout out to NJ the AK for owning 2 copies.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like that record was like a precursor to like a lot of the stuff I'm doing now. Like I feel like I found the formula somewhat, and just expand on it.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And you definitely. I mean, aside from jazz, and you saying you want to learn the upright bass, but I've noticed saxophone plays a good part in your production as well. And shout out to Liam Ring, who's done
Yeah,
some work.
shouts to him. Yeah, yeah.
Is that one of a favorite of yours when you're listening to jazz music as well, or is it just something that just happened to be when you created these songs?
The saxophone.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. It's like it's a staple in jazz music. Yeah, honestly, I used to think like that as well, but now I just find that I'm at the point where I create and I just kind of hear something in my head, and I'm like, oh, I think saxophone would sound good here, and that's literally it's not that deep anymore. It's so funny. I used to when I first started making beats, I like always used to just overanalyze everything. Now it's just like, no, this is I think will sound good. Let's try it. That's it.
Got you. Now I want to go back to Atlantic Rap Volume 1 because, I mean, these you have some really well-known, talented MCs on here, and a lot of them, even in 2025, are still doing their thing. And I mean, that last track, the remix, Intuition, with Aida, UFO Fee, Razkaz, Wise P, and Mike Picasso,
Yeah.
crazy.
Thanks. Yeah, if I had to do that track again, I think I would have shortened it a little bit instead of 16 bars from each
Mhm.
MC. I think I would have done like 12, but I'm still happy with it.
So with all of these artists on Volume 1, did you reached out to all of them?
Yes.
Was there anyone that you worked with on this album that, you know, just for some reason, their verse didn't come through?
Anybody that I worked with on this album, like I wanted to get a verse from, or
Actually, two-part question. Yeah, that you wanted to get a verse from, or you did get a verse, but didn't get it put on there in time.
yeah. So yes to both. Um, so yeah, like for the first question about who I wanted to get but I couldn't get, I really wanted to get Fonte from Little Brother
Ooh, okay.
on Something Real, but unfortunately that didn't work out. And for yeah, I think I had two actually. like verses on Atlantic Rap Volume 1 that didn't end up getting used, but that's okay because they'll just be used for Volume 2. But Lavender, I had a verse for Intuition, shouts to her, but it was just too long because basically something unexpected happened, and I
Wow.
kind of just had to roll with the punches. So,
Okay.
but shouts to her though, and that will definitely be used.
Nice, nice. And are you currently working on volume 2? Because I
Yeah,
heard you
it's
just mention it.
it's basically done. Yeah, it's basically done.
Nice.
I just have to figure out like a plan to actually market it, and that type of thing, which is harder these days in streaming era than actually making the music, if you can believe it.
Understood, understood. And what was your decision in making a remix project for Atlantic Rap Volume 1?
Well, I just wanted to, I guess, extend the project because where I did like it, I was just like, well, if I'm curating this and the MCs on my beats, it's like, well, what's stopping me from curating other producers as well,
True.
right? So nothing really. And yeah, I just thought that it would be a good way to just give the album like a different look and extend it a little bit.
Cool, cool. Is Black Buffalo Records from Canada? The
Yeah,
label?
they're
They are.
from Halifax.
Okay. So for I believe it was Listen to the Masters. That was through them and Fat Beats, right?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
And the Coltrane's of the Movement 7-inch was through them as well.
Nice. How did you end up working with both of them?
Well, because they're local, Uncle Fester and Ghetto Sox had a connection, so they introduced me. That's how that happened.
All right. Cool. I believe, yeah, you mentioned this earlier, but NJDK was asking how you met Ghetto Sox, and he was mentioning earlier how when he moved to Halifax, how him and DJ Uncle Fester also had all met.
Yeah, well, they knew each other, and I just essentially just started going to shows, and I just met both of them that way.
When it comes to your production now, and you look at it in the past, what do you see has been your improvements? And also, is it all the same equipment?
So equipment is different. Like I used to, when I first started making beats, I had MPC 2000 XL. Then I had a machine studio,
Mm-hmm.
and now I basically just do everything in Logic Pro. And I have a keyboard too, so I just do everything
Nice.
that way. Yeah, like it's the ear, not the gear, as I like to tell people. I mean, you can make anything sound like anything if you know what you're doing, right?
That's the talent coming from the producer.
And what was the other? What was sorry? And what was the first part of the question again?
Oh, the
How my production evolved
yes.
was that? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just over the years, I just like I think now it's like my music sounds more interesting. Like I think there's just like some more unexpected elements. Like I've learned how to engineer my stuff like competently, so I think it sounds cleaner. And just like after working with like some live musicians and that like for several years, I just
Mhm.
you learn how to mix that stuff in better and
Okay.
like I guess evolve your musicianship because you're working with people who know more than you. So
Open your eyes and ears to a lot
yeah,
more.
yeah, exactly. So I would say that those would be the main factors.
Nice. So definitely a very progressive evolution at the same time.
Yes, until you hit the the point of diminishing returns, which is where I feel I am now.
Is there any are there any MCs for volume 2 that you can speak of now, or are you gonna hold off just yet until you're ready to start promoting it?
Yeah, I'll give you one name. Fat Cat from Detroit.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah, there's a Detroit focused track on the project, which I like.
That's nice. Yeah, that Food from the Gods that he did with Black Milk recently.
Yo, yeah.
It's amazing work. It's been years since they put out a project together, and they still have that same chemistry.
Oh yeah.
Now, mentioning that how different your perspective is with the production now, and also working with live musicians has helped with that. Do you also feel that being a sound designer has been a big plus as well with that?
Well, yeah, I just think it lets me sharpen my skills, and also I guess the other side of it too is like let me see. I get seen by more people. Like, for example, if I'm just already asking somebody to collaborate, like if I want to trade in a beat or whatever, just ask them to go on the project. It's like I think that it definitely holds some weight. Like they see it and they assume that I know what I'm doing.
True. I'm sorry, you said Fat Cat. I'm thinking Fat Ray when I mentioned
Fat Ray, yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry
I was
about
gonna
that.
say, did you mean Fat? Yeah, yeah, Fat Ray. Yeah, he's incredible as well. Shouts to all those guys.
Yeah, amazing work. Now, I want to talk about the sound designer a little bit more because you say you wanted to open up a storefront.
Yeah.
How would that, what would that look like?
Well, it would be an e-commerce storefront. Yeah, it would just be essentially I would just be setting up like a label to, sell audio files essentially of
Okay.
my own composition, like geared toward producers and beat makers to sample themselves. And so they wouldn't necessarily need to dig. They just use it as a tool or supplement. Like if they didn't want to dig through the crates because that has gotten really expensive.
It has.
Like I always tell people, it's like there's always so much value in digging in the crates, though. It's like that is hip hop, and it's like you can't take anybody seriously who doesn't, who dismisses digging in the crates.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. And you mentioned that you've been listening to a lot more jazz recently, but also what hip hop have you been listening to recently?
What hip hop?
Yeah.
I like the clip. I like the Clips album. For like newer things, yeah, I like the Clips album. What else did I listen to?
Anything from the past you revisited?
Yeah, I always listen to stuff, revisit stuff from the past. Yeah. Oh, I heard the new Mobb Deep album too, which I also like.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that.
Very good.
Yeah. What else? Yeah, I always just listen to stuff, stuff from the past. So anything in my collection, really.
And that is the key thing of owning physicals.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
From your standpoint, explain to the people why that's vital to have your physical copies of music.
Well, I think I touched a little bit on earlier. It's like I just think the artwork is, you know, for a lot of these projects are phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's like even if you don't even like the music like necessarily, it's like you look at the like a Tribe Called Quest cover. It's like wow, this is objectively, an amazing piece of art. Like let alone the music. Yeah, and also the sound quality is better. And I also have a theory. It's that eventually, like I saw on I think Instagram that Who Sampled partnered with Spotify. I'm
Mhm.
convinced that like eventually, if there's like an uncleared sample, you're not even gonna be able to upload to those sites. So
Ah,
your option is either to like do it, independently or press it on vinyl or like use Bandcamp or like your own website or something like that. So that's another thing. Like as an actual creator, it's like I honestly think like that's kind of where it's going, which is scary because sampling is hip hop and it's just like people are just doing it for fun. Like, I understand if it's like a major label thing, but a lot of people aren't doing it for that.
yeah. Outside of your own projects, you've done production with also on Justo and Uncle Festa's project Where There's Smoke.
Yes, that's right.
Um, Also, you did something maybe 4 or 5 years ago with the Mussolini on his
Yes, I did.
project, Peach.
Yes, I did.
How did you end up working with him?
That one was a little. That one was a bit random. I remember I just like posted a beat snippet on Instagram, and
Hmm.
I don't know if he was like following Fester or he was following somebody, but anyways, he somehow saw it and he wanted it. So anyways, we talked and yeah, it ended up getting placed on his project, which was cool
Yeah, I
because that
mean,
was during COVID. Like I would never actually met him in person or anything like that. It was just
mhm.
one funny thing that happened, but that worked out.
Yeah, that's. I was surprised when I saw your name on that. It was definitely unexpected for me. As a fellow beer drinker, what's your one of your favorite craft beers?
Hmm. I was actually just in Montreal last week, and I tried this pilsner from it's like well, the English translations Brewers of Montreal, and I thought that was extremely good. So I just want to shout them out, even though I only had it once. It was very good. Um, yeah, no, I just usually just I like any local pilsner. Like Propeller is a good brewery here. I like. And yourself?
Me, there's actually a friend of mine. Both of them, they're owners of a brewery in New Jersey. Over the state lines, Hackensack Brewery. They've been really successful. Making their beers. They got a lot of variety of beers. I like different beers, IPAs, stouts, pilsners, and more recently been drinking more sour ales.
Okay. Do you like APAs?
Yeah,
Yeah, they're good. I like those
yeah.
too.
Are there any songs that you're working on with any MCs or maybe for another project with a that you can talk
What, just like one MC, one producer type of
about? Okay.
project?
Yeah.
No, but like I mentioned, I'm doing Atlantic Rap Volume
Mhm.
2, and I'm also trying to actually get 3 done as well. So, and that one's going to be an all Canadian or Canadian focused, I should say. So,
Oh, nice.
yeah, that one's going to be Canadian focused just to switch it up. So, yeah, those are my, mostly what I've been working on, but no other like dedicated like project with just the MC or
Right.
Ghetto Socks, but he wants to do a listen to the masters too. So we'll see.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'll Ghetto Sox, if you're listening, I look forward to that. Man, part two. Do you do you generally reach out to artists while you're making a project? How does your creative process work, or before you even start that? Do you start looking?
No, I usually just make the beat, and I kind of think it's kind of like what I said with the saxophone. I was like,
Okay.
who will sound good on this? And then I kind of just I put some names down, and yeah, I just try to think. Sometimes I get other people to, A&R the song. Like sometimes I'll just send the idea or the demo of the socks, and I'm like, who do you hear here? And he usually has a pretty good ear for stuff like that too. So that's usually my process.
Nice. Okay.
I like doing that sometimes because you get like unexpected. Sometimes you get like unexpected people that you wouldn't have thought of otherwise.
True. Okay. One of my last few questions is about, just being able to have that ear for music. And when did you know that you were going to be a producer?
Good question. I think when I was in college, I think I was like listening to Illmatic again. And I basically just told myself I was going to be a producer. So that's it. And that was probably like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years after I heard the album the first time. So, yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. Some may not know, so give us the origin of your name, DK.
Oh, it's just my government name initials. That's all. Nothing crazy. Not reinventing the wheel here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got you. How often have you visited the U.S.?
A lot
Yeah.
over the
Okay.
yeah. Yeah, my folks used to have a winter home in Florida. So used to go quite often.
Nice. Okay.
And my brother actually lives in the States, so yeah, I've visited him a few times as well. So yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. Hmm. Uncle Fester has blessed you with so many ill cuts on many projects. Have you ever thought of just doing a project or an EP where it's just your production and him doing the cuts?
Well, anytime when I do a project, I always hit him up for cuts. So
Hmm.
I mean, I can, yeah. So that's usually how it works. Yeah, I actually tried to like connect, like I guess return the favor, and I tried to connect him with Justo the MC, just because I thought that they would like make a dope project together.
Right.
Then they wanted me involved, so that's how our project, Where There's Smoke, came about.
Very
But yeah,
nice.
it's an interesting idea though.
Yeah, because I mean, I have a DJ background, and watching DJ battles and then the turntablist projects that have come out. Even there's a producer and DJ from Munich, Germany, who recently dropped an album. His name's Al Rock,
Okay.
and a lot of the songs are strictly his production and DJ, and it reminds me a lot of the early turntablist projects that were coming out by like the X-Men and Mixmaster Mike.
Oh, yeah.
Cool, cool. So that's, I really don't have any other questions. You blessed us with telling us about Atlantic Rap Volume 2 and gave us an early hint of an MC that's going to be on there, and about, putting out your original compositions, which I think that's, a great avenue with your talents to also be pursuing.
Thank you.
So once again, thank you for taking the time to speak with HHDG Media, and let the people know if there's anything else on your mind you want to let us know about, and then give your shout outs.
No, I think that's it. Yeah, shout out to all my supporters. Yeah, and if you want to follow me, I'm on Instagram. My handle's at DK_producer. I'm on Blue Sky as well. Like, I guess those, and Threads, I guess those are kind of like my places where I live. Yeah, and my website's dkproducer.com, and my Bandcamp is dkproducer.bandcamp.com. Again, thanks to all the supporters. And thanks for having me.
Definitely welcome, man. And whenever Atlantic Rap Volume 2 comes out, definitely have you back on to talk about it.
Great.
On behalf of our HHDG Media crew, we're going to say peace.